Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Ora Bhakta Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Ora Bhakta Shri Advaita Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Ora Bhakta Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Sankirtanya ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari 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 Hari. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hope you are well wherever you are. So this Friday is the third Friday of the month, and every third Friday it is our custom that we dedicate some time towards singing Vaishnava bhajans. And these bhajans are prayers written in song form by senior acharyas of the movement. And the understanding is that they have summarized the essence of the scriptures in these songs we refer to as bhajans. So a quick sound check. Is the audio good enough? Okay. So this pandemic has provided with such a wonderful opportunity to spiritualize ether and all the space between you and us, from wherever you are and wherever we are here. So although we are taking baby steps in opening up temple activities, it appears that we'll continue to be meeting online for some more time. So please, wherever you are, act with caution and stay safe. It's still not over yet. So welcome once again. Hare Krishna, Shashi Singhal Mataji, thank you for dialing in. Sumedh Radhika Mataji, Madhavi Mataji, Sarvaga Prabhu, Meenakshi Madhavi Mataji, Dushti, Shankar Prabhu, and Rajakumar Govind Prabhu. Thank you for dialing in, and thank you for your encouragement and constant support and motivation. So today we will again, as is the custom, be trying to present a few bhajans. It will come up on the screen and we will try and sing it between me, Sumedh, and Dhruv. And then we will read the translation, and then we will reflect on what the bhajan is trying to tell us and how we can implement the instruction that the bhajan is giving us in our own lives in a practical way. So that's the plan, and without much ado, we'll get into the first bhajan for the night. This month there is Ratha Yatra in different parts of the world. Of course, we'll have a shortened version in Manchester or London if it does go ahead as per schedule. But we also have on the 24th Guru Purnima. We don't fully celebrate, but we will be doing some dedication to Guru and the importance of the spiritual master or anybody you look up to as a teacher or a guide in this subject matter. So listening to the acharyas, the understanding is that the guru or the spiritual master is a via medium between us and Krishna. And Krishna, being the source of everything, doesn't necessarily has to present himself physically to prove that he is present. He is present in form of his different energies. So the analogy is that like the sun, we know that the sun planet is millions of miles away from where we are. And if we wanted association with the sun, we don't need to be in front of each other in physical proximity. Although even if that was to happen, we wouldn't be able to take it in this current form of ours. We'll burn up in a second. So the understanding is that we're not ready enough as yet to one perceive the Lord in his fully personal form. So like the sun enters our homes and our areas through the sunlight or its energy, Similarly, Krishna, who's the source of everything, permeates everything through his different energies. And the Guru is also a representation of Krishna. So if we want to have some connection with Krishna, if we want some realization of the Supreme, if we want to have a spiritual experience and connect with our spirit self and recognize the super soul element, we have to connect or establish the connection by the via medium of a spiritual master, because he's the one person who is an authorized representative of to speak what Krishna is trying to tell us, and he's the one person who will accept our shortcomings and be kind enough to accept us as a candidate, trying to revive this forgotten connection that we have with the Lord and his devotees. So that's just some thoughts on the importance of Guru presented by means of an analogy. So Guru is a representation of Krishna. He is an authorized representative. He is the energy of the Lord, and he is very, very important for us to have any hopes of establishing a connection with Krishna ever. We cannot admittedly do it on our own. However, some people might think we do need, there is a definite dependency of the spirit soul on the Guru to help us connect with Krishna. So Guru in that sense is very, very important. I can't emphasize enough. So for those of you who are already initiated, fortunate enough, wonderful. And for those of you who are aspiring, also very good. But yes, Guru definitely has a very, very important role to play. He also is the one who translates what Krishna is saying into meaningful messages that we can implement in our lives. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult to understand what the purpose of life is and how to achieve it. We were reading from Srimad Bhagavatam second canto in our Wednesday session, and even the creator of the world, Lord Brahma, had a guru. He got instructions directly from Krishna as to what is to be done. So it's an established format of having a guru and receiving the instruction from the guru in that order, but a bona fide order. So having said that, what we would do now is get into the first bhajan of the night. And this is a very, very well-known prayer that we sing in our temples, given that we are starting to take baby steps in opening up again. We thought it would be nice to just refresh ourselves with the routines in the temple and the prayers that we sing in the temple on a normal basis. So I'll hand over to Sumedh, and he will take us into the first bhajan of the night, which we'll try and do a bit together, half and half, because it's 8 verses, and then perhaps we should read the translation first, and then do some reflection. We would like to invite everyone to have some thoughts and some reflections when the bhajans have been sung. Please feel free to participate, and like that we can make it a bit more interactive and enlivening. So any volunteers? Perhaps we can start with Shashi Singhal Mataji, because I can see you. Please, if you could read the first 4 translation to the first 4 verses. That's okay, Mataji? Shashi Singhal Mataji, are you able to see? I think...
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No problem. Don't worry. Any other volunteers? What about Meenakshi Madhavi Mataji? Mataji, are you able to read?
Prabhu, on my iPhone, what I'll have to do is go back to my iPad and then see
No
the
problem. No problem. What about Shumadur Radhika Mataji? Okay, it's a pass again. We go to Drishti.
Hare Krishna, sorry.
Oh, Shumadur Radhika Mataji. Hey.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'll read
please.
the translation.
Yeah, please.
All three paragraphs.
The first four.
First four. Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Welcome. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as a cloud pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master, who is an ocean of auspicious qualities, chanting the holy name, dancing in ecstasy, singing and playing musical instruments. The spiritual master is always gladdened by the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is relishing the mellows of pure devotion within his mind. Sometimes his hair stands on end, he feels quivering in his body, and tears flow from his eyes like waves. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is always engaged in the temple worship of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. He also engages his disciples in such worship. They dress the deities in beautiful clothes and ornaments, clean their temple, and perform other similar worship of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is always offering Krishna 4 kinds of delicious food, analyzed as that which is licked, chewed, drunk, and sucked. When the spiritual master sees that the devotees are satisfied by eating Bhagavad Prasad, he is satisfied. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was very nicely read. Wonderful. So we can ask someone else to read the next 4 translations. I just noticed our dear Bala has joined us. Balaram, are you able to read?
Yeah.
Please go ahead. 5 to 8.
The spiritual master is always eager to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radhika and Madhava, and their qualities, names, and forms. The spiritual master aspires to relish these at every moment. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is very dear, because he is an expert in assisting the gopis, who at different times make different tasteful arrangements for the perfection of Radha and Krishna's conjugal loving affairs with the groves of Vrindavana. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord, because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master, who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hari Krishna. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. Therefore, I should always remember and praise the spiritual master. At least 3 times a day, I should offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Wonderful reading once again by both Shumadur Radhika Mataji and Bhakta Balram. Thank you. So, I'm sure you all are familiar with the tune and the verses. We'll try and do the singing together. You can mute at your end, and Sumedh will take us into the singing for tonight. Over to you, Sumedh.
Hare Krishna. Samsara dhava nalalidhaloka चरणारविन्दम् महाप्रभो कीर्तन नृत्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेन रोमाञ्चकम्प श्रुतरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधन नित्यनाना शृङ्गार तन्मन्दिरमार्जनाधो युक्तस्य भक्तांश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् चतुर्वेदा श्री भगवत्प्रसादा स्वाध्वन्वतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गान् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत स्वदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
Radhika Madhavayora Madhurya Leela Gunarupanam Radhika Madhavayora Madhurya Leela Gunarupanam Pratikshana Swadhana Lolo Vasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Pratikshana Swadhana Lolo Vasya Vande Guru Shri Sharanara Nikunya you know Radikali Sendhya Kayali Yupira Pekshadiya Nikunya you know Radikali Sendhya Kayali Yupira Pekshadiya Tatra Didaksha Lativala Vasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Tatra Didaksha Lativala Vasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Akshadharit Vena Samasta Shastre Dastatha Bhagyatadeva Akshadharit Vena Samasta Shastre Dastatha Bhagyatadeva Into Prabhoryaha Priyaeva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Into Prabhoryaha Priyaeva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Yasya Prasadam Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Bhagavati Yasya Prasadam Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadam Jayam Suvam Stasya Yashasri Sandhya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Jayam Suvam Stasya Yashasri Sandhya Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanara. Vande Guru Shri Charanara Vinda. Vande Guru Shri Charanara. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yaga ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His Divine Grace, Desi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nittaya Gaura Premanande Hari
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for staying with us for that first bhajan. Whenever there is a reference to the Guru, I always get reminded of this instruction that Prabhupada gave, or suggestion, is when you're trying to get the attention of a very important, very famous person, you, instead of trying to approach him directly, you have to try and please his dog or his representative or his associates. Similarly, in our attempt, in our endeavor to try to connect with Krishna, and we are not qualified, let's admit, we will probably be more successful if we were to try and please his devotee. So if we try and please acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, we then stand a better chance and a bigger opportunity for getting the favor of Krishna, not by going headlong directly ourselves. Because we don't have the understanding of what's right and what's wrong. It's very easy for all of us with our own set of intelligence to make concoctions and think about what we think is right or wrong. Therefore, to do it the right way, to do it successfully, and to have a higher chance of succeeding at doing this, connecting with the Lord, we must recognize the importance of spiritual master. Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say.
There's a nice phrase that. Sorry, do you want to carry on? No, that's fine.
No, I was just, I'm finished really. So yeah, just the importance of spiritual master. I'll just say one more thing. I've been speaking to a lot of people recently, and everyone's looking forward to lockdown lifting and restrictions are being taken back and do this and do that. And when I hear these conversations, I'm like, we just carried on. Nothing really changed for us because we kept up with the Friday and Sunday programs. We did the Bhagavatam sessions, and we caught up whenever we could, and book distribution, paraphernalia, everything just. So essentially, we had our good, nice engagements to keep us sane. So we're not really waiting for the lockdown to happen and then go out and demonstrate the mad behavior that some people are planning to do, and then face the repercussions. So these are some nice engagements to have, and this verse or this bhajan details so many things that the spiritual master can engage you in. He can make you an instrument of the Lord's peace. He's qualified. He knows what is the right thing, and he knows how to perfectly fit you and put you on the right track, so that our chance of success improves. So I repeat what I mentioned earlier. If we are trying to have a spiritual experience, if we are trying to make a connection with Krishna, we cannot do it ourselves. We need the support and the guidance of a spiritual master, because he is qualified and authorized to guide us properly so that we can do the right thing. Over to you, Sumedh. Hare Krishna.
There's a nice phrase in Narad Pancharatra, which is guru. Guru means heavy, because the guru is a little bit heavy at times. Sometimes to correct a child, you need to give a little slap. I'm sure you'll know that from my childhood, Madhava Kumar Prabhu, and from Dhruv's childhood as well. But sometimes it's necessary to give a little slap to put them on the right track. But guru also means gu shabda andakarasya ru shabda dvamshanam bhayet. Andakara means darkness, so gu represents darkness. Can you put that? And ru represents dvamshana, means destruction. So the guru is the person who destroys the darkness. That's why we say Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya. Ajnana Timirandasya means a darkness of ignorance. We are blinded by the darkness of ignorance. And so the guru is by using Jnana Anjana Shalakaya, by using the sharp tool, he's opening our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. And so that's what the guru does, because so many times we see Krishna consciousness, like, for example, this bhajan is there, but then we don't know, okay, from that bhajan, how do I apply in real life? And so that's what the guru does. And that's a very nice feature of the guru. Another point I'd like to mention is the one of the verses in that bhajan that we just said, Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra. Sometimes we actually respect Srila Prabhupada, not just as Krishna, because Krishna is so merciful, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Prabhupada, for us, we might even respect him more than the Lord. Sometimes the Guru, what we do, we don't treat as above the Lord, but we give so much respect, because the Guru is so much million times more merciful, and they have extended their hands down to us, who are so fallen, and they are connecting us with the Lord. And so sometimes, often in the Mayavadi schools of understanding, they'd like to twist this, and they'd say that once you become spiritual, you become not godly, you become God. But the spiritual master, they have these divine qualities, and so in that sense, they're the representation of the Lord. So it's a really important thing that we do to get a guru on our path, because once, let's say for my university application, I need to speak to people who have already gone through that process, because they'll be able to help me in that. I can do so much hard work myself, but simply just one call to someone who's already gone through that will make my life a million times more easy. And so that's the same thing that the guru does. And so it's through them that we can connect to the Lord. So it's just a really nice point I thought I'd like to mention. Over to you, Madhava Prabhu.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was a more Shastric explanation. It's always good to have that. But yes, cannot emphasize more on the importance of having a spiritual master. And there is a Shiksha and a Diksha Guru. A Shiksha Guru is someone who can give you guidance. So it could be so many people. But Diksha, or the one who takes full responsibility and initiates you into this path, is your Diksha Guru. And today, of course, we leave too many things to choices, and we want to be independent, and that, of course, has been the root cause of our suffering. We decided to enjoy separately from the Lord. But in our ancient times, it was not an option. Everybody had to go through the ceremonies, and every respected individual had to have a spiritual master. It was a sign of, it was a matter of cultural etiquette to have a spiritual master and be recognized as being connected with a bona fide disciplic succession. It was similar to, like, nowadays you would say, oh, you're a doctor, where have you studied from? Is it Oxford or Cambridge or whatever? Similarly, in earlier times, it was considered a matter of honor to be associated with a spiritual master. Today, again, obviously, we are leaving too many things to choices, and most often they're not making bad choices than the right ones. But yes, spiritual master and his importance. And again, the same point which we should kind of close this with is that we're not qualified ourselves, and therefore we need the recommendation of a spiritual master or someone like a spiritual master. Unless we get recommended, unless we get guided, unless we get encouraged in the right way, we would potentially end up wasting the opportunity that we get after a lot of austerity, the human birth. So the last verse is Yasya Prasadad Bhagavad Prasad. Yasya Prasadam Nagati Kutopi Dhyayam Suvam Sasya Yashasi Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanar Vindam. So to that spiritual master who is all of this to me, I will offer respect 3 times a day. Yes, 3 Sandhyam, 3 times a day. And hope that the master recognizes my endeavor, my sincerity, and recommends me to Krishna, and thereby help me make my life worth. So we'll leave you with that. That was the first bhajan for the night. I hope there were some takeaways for you from that. And we'll get into the second one for the night. So Sumedh, over to you. You can take us into the second one for the night. Hare Krishna. We do that now? Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone there who can read the translation?
Yeah, I think we've got quite a few people who joined later on. Drishti, are you able to read the first 4 for us? Please go ahead. Thank you.
I prostrate myself before the son of Mother Sachi, whose radiant lotus face and body shine with the splendor of molten gold. This transcendental body is the playground, the continuous expression of variegated moods and ecstatic symptoms that carry his consciousness to the realm where he is no longer aware of that transcendental body. By only a particle of his mercy, he has delivered the 3 worlds. I salute the son of Mother Sachi, whose heart is a state of rapture, transformed by feelings of intense love. In his pastimes of loud roaring, before the mischievous and malicious rascals, he removes all fear of the vast ocean of material existence by the effect of his unlimited compassion. He is wearing garments the color of the eastern sky during the dawn, and his lovely cheeks shine with the same radiance. The nails of his hands and feet have the same pleasing effect of the moon shining in the sky. His pleasure diversion consists in discussion and glorification of his own wonderful qualities and names. I offer my obeisances to the son of Mother Sachi. His lotus eyes are always wet with tears. His ornaments are the new and ever fresh transformations of ecstatic love that decorate his transcendental form. His gait is slow and majestic, yet his dancing is a wonderful pastime of enjoyment. I bow down before the son of Mother Sachi.
Thank you very much for that, Drishti. That was very nice reading, very, very clear. Thank you very much. Any other volunteer? What about Shankar Prabhu? Are you able to read the next 4? 5, 6, 7, 8? If you're available, or else we can get maybe to know you. Okay, go for it, please. 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you.
The movement of his lovely yet restless lotus feet captivates the mind, and his ankle bracelets sweeten that charming scene all the more. His face, which defeats the beauty of the moon, is very cooling and pleasant. I offer my salutations to the son of Mother Sachi. He wears a cord around his waist and carries in his hands a water pot and staff. His divine appearance is complemented by his shaved head. The sins of the wicked are annulled by the rod of chastisement that he carries. I salute the son of Mother Sachi. His ornaments are the dust on his body and his radiant tilak prepared with sandalwood. The beautiful sight of his trembling reddish lips brings delight to the mind and heart. I offer my obeisances to the son of Mother Sachi. His lotus eyes defeat the color of pink lotuses. His 2 lotus hands are very long, reaching down almost to his knees. He appears to be a mere adolescent, dressed as he is, ready to dance. I prostrate myself before the son of Mother Sachi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So this is a song about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now the last bhajan was a little bit more serious about it's important to keep fixed in spiritual life. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he showed that actually the essence of all philosophies, of all religion, of all practices, of all spirituality is very simple, very sweet, and very loving. And so this is a bhajan written by Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, who originally was a great scholar, who was against Mahaprabhu, who spoke all sorts of other philosophy, and Mahaprabhu simply showed that this philosophy is great, it's a great theory to have, but actually what changes the heart is not philosophy, it's not how much knowledge we have, but it's rather how much love we have. And so, again, just like the bhajan I sang last time, Navagodavaram, this is also written by him, and this is not Shri Shachit Sutashtakam, this is Sachitanayashtakam. Also, just another way of saying 8 verses glorifying the mother, the son of Mother Sachi. And so, without further ado, let's get into the bhajan. Oops. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga 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 Jaya Nitai Gauranga 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 Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Ujjvala Varana Gauravara Deham Vilasita Niravadi Bhava Videham Ujjvala Varana Gauravara Deham Vilasita Niravadi Bhava Videham Tribhuvana Pavana Kripayalesham Tribhuvana Pavana Kripayalesham Tam Pranamami Cha Shri Sachidanayam Tam Pranamami Cha Shri Sachidanayam गद्गदान्तर भावविकारं दुर्जनतर्जन नादविशालं गद्गदान्तर भावविकारं दुर्जनतर्जन नादविशालं भवभयभञ्जनकारणकरुणं भवभयभञ्जनकारणकरुणं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् अरुणाम्भरधर चारुकपोलम् इन्दुविनिन्दित नखचयरुचिरम् अरुणाम्भरधर चारुकपोलम् इन्दुविनिन्दित नखचयरुचिरम् जल्पित निजगुण नाम विनोदं जल्पित निजगुण नाम विनोदं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् विगलितनयनकमलजलधारं भूषणनवरस भावविकारं विगलितनयनकमलजलधारं भूषणनवरस भावविकारं गति अतिमान्तर नृत्यविलासं गति अतिमान्तर नृत्यविलासं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् चञ्चलचारुचरणगतिरुचिरं मञ्जिररञ्जित पदयुगमधुरं चञ्चलचारुचरणगतिरुचिरं मञ्जिररञ्जित पदयुगमधुरं चन्द्रविनिन्दित शीतलवदनं चन्द्रविनिन्दित शीतलवदनं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् धृतकतिधोरक मन्दलुदन्द दिव्यकलेवर मुन्दितमुन्दं धृतकतिधोरक मन्दलुदन्द दिव्यकलेवर मुन्दितमुन्दम् दुर्जनकल्मषकन्दनधन्दं दुर्जनकल्मषकन्दनधन्दं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् भूषणभूरज अलकावलितं कम्पितबिम्बाधरवररुचिरं भूषणभूरज अलकवलितं कम्पितबिम्बाधरवररुचिरं मलयज विरचित उज्ज्वलतिलकं मलयज विरचित उज्ज्वलतिलकं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् निन्दित अरुणक मलधलनयनम् आजानुलम्बित श्रीभुजयुगलं निन्दित अरुणक मलधलनयनम् आजानुलम्बित श्रीभुजयुगलं कलेवर कैशोर नर्तकवेशं कलेवरकैशोर नर्तकवेशं तं प्रणमामि च श्रीशशितनयम् प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयं तं 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 प्रणमामि च श्रीशचितनयम् गौरंग महाप्रभु की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
Thank
So
you,
this
Sumedh.
bhajan, I'd like to say just one little thing about it. Very simply put, sometimes we like to complicate our Krishna consciousness. Every now and then, like to go too deep beyond our understanding. Sometimes we'll go a little bit further. We think that if I dive into the topics of the Rasa Leela or something like that, then I will be making a lot of progress. But actually, it's important that we carry out our devotional service very simply, and we are able to just not unnecessarily make it more difficult. Am I audible or am I cutting out?
Yeah, you froze for a second, but it's good now.
Okay, yeah. I was just saying we like to complicate it sometimes, but actually it's very, very simple. All we have to do, chant the holy name of the Lord, chant the holy name of the Lord, chant the holy name of the Lord, but not on our own, along with the devotees. Sankirtana yajna means along with the others. Kirtana means just singing ourselves, but Sankirtana means with others. And as we mentioned earlier, having someone like a guru will make a great advancement. Not just a guru, but someone as a friend as well. Just by devotee association and taking the process, we make a lot of advancement. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us this very simple process. Because when we go deep and deep, we may learn something, we may not learn anything. But simply by doing Krishna consciousness, we will be able to make that progress. So instead of making our life complicated, let's take to the devotional service, let's utilize where we can, and let's take to the shelter of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for that, Sumedh. That was wonderful. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know, is Krishna himself. And when Krishna comes, he comes for a purpose. And the understanding is that when Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came in the form of a devotee to set an example of how a perfect devotee should behave. What is the conduct expected out of an aspiring devotee of the Lord? So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, his description of his self in this bhajan, is all a great example for all of us to follow and hopefully try and fulfill the purpose of our lives. So thank you for that very wonderful. I just picked up on a point you made, Sumedh, about keeping it simple. I remember listening to Prabhupada saying when he was spending time in Radha Damodar temple in Madhava, he used to observe one elderly lady would come every day and just offer pot of water to the deity of Krishna. And she wasn't doing anything else but rain or shine, winters, summers, day or night. She will just come every single day without fail. And such was her commitment. But the commitment to the continuity of the service, encouraged Prabhupada, and Prabhupada did say that just by doing that, she would go back to Godhead. So it's quite simple. It's quite simple, Krishna consciousness. And quite often we are asked, how do I improve my chanting? How do I improve the quality of my chanting? How do I do offenseless chanting? And the answer is continue to chant, continue to chant.
Yeah.
Keep up with the process. Just very simply, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But of course, the other point you made, Sumedh, is to do it with guidance from seniors and in association with other devotees and other individuals who are also on that same path. So we encourage you to not just join in these sessions, but also take time to catch up with each other and compare notes and check what I'm doing or what you are doing. Share what's working for you, what's working for me, and like that, encourage each other. Not just when there is a job to be done or a service to be executed. We can take time to simply compare notes and like that give each other the much needed encouragement and motivation to push further. So thank you, Sumedh, for that.
I just wanted to just say a little bit when you just mentioned that material life is like a vicious cycle. We always say lust causes anger. When we don't get the thing we get, then that anger causes this illusion, and that causes this problem. So it's a vicious spiral downwards. But like you said, how do you improve chanting? By more chanting. So just like you have a vicious cycle, in Krishna consciousness you have a virtuous cycle, which is that chanting improves, and the association and the reading improves, and with the association, the reading, and then more chanting, and then that leads to more association, more reading. So it's like the opposite. It's like an upward spiral that leads us to the Lord. And so it's actually rather simple. Like a lot of other processes like to get really technical, and that philosophy is there in Krishna consciousness. But the practicality is such that, yeah, we can talk about all of these, how many verses I know, how much I've read today, but actually it's very simple. How much devotion is there in the heart? Like you said with that example. That's it. That's the simplicity of it. How devotional are we? And so it's by studying all the Vedas, Ravan, what did he become? Devotee? But Vibhishan, simply by doing the name of Lord Ram, he became the great devotee. So it's that the devotion should be there, like in all our actions, not just when we're in this. Like anyone can be Krishna conscious for the duration of this Zoom meeting. It's as soon as this ends, what do we do then? That's the real question of are we being Krishna conscious? Some people like to say, oh, Krishna conscious, this is one aspect of our life, but actually, even in work, that is Krishna conscious. If we are thinking of the Lord there, that's the way Krishna consciousness works. Is just okay, between this time and this time, I'll do. It's actually the process outside of our devotion as well as inside our devotion, outside of our service as well as inside our service as well, that leads to the change of heart. Over to you, Prabhu, for the next bhajan.
Thank you so much for that. That's wonderful. Yes, let's get into the next bhajan for the night. We're just over 8:30, and I think we have time for one or two more before we call it a close. But yes, please feel free to keep reaching out to each other. And these are interesting times. We definitely need support from each other more now than ever. So Hare Krishna. Okay, so this next bhajan is a very sweet, simple, short message by Sri Govindadas, who's a devotee of the Lord, also known as Kaviraj, Govindadas Kaviraj, because he composed such nice bhajans. So what we could do is we just read the translation, and maybe you could have a volunteer, someone who's not read so far. Kumar, Govinda Prabhu, would you like to read the first two?
Yeah, sure, Prabhu, yeah.
Please, thank you.
O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worthy existence through the association of saintly persons. Both in the day and the night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserable men.
Thank you, Prabhu. What about Madhu Mataji? Is Madhu there? You would like to read third and fourth translation? If not, then we can get maybe. Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please read. Third and the
Okay,
fourth.
I will try, Prabhuji, okay?
Please, thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Okay.
that's
So
more
third and fourth?
Yes.
Okay. So what assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 process of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worship him with flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Appreciate it. Right. So we'll just go into the Bhajan. This is, as we see, composed by Govinda Das Kaviraj. Jahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Jahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Jahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Durlabha Arohe Bhava Sana Edina Jamini Jagi Bata Bari Sana Edina Jamini Jagi Sharanam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari 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 Hari. Oh. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a wonderful bhajan, by the way. Very, very much enjoyed it.
Yes, it is quite relevant. I think the reason why I picked this one is because it's so relevant to us. And it's written by Rajakumar Govindadas Prabhu's godbrother. So I'm hoping that he would have related to it also. Govindadas obviously is representing us, and he's praying to his mind. Bhajahu re mana. Bhajahu means worship. Re mana, he's basically referring to his mind. He's saying, oh, my mind, please worship Sri Nanda Nandana. Sri Nanda Nandana means the son of Nanda Maharaj or Krishna. Abhaya Charanar Vindare. Abhaya Charan means the lotus feet of Krishna, of Nanda Nandana, where once achieved, you become fearless. Abhaya Charan. So he's Govindadas is requesting, pleading his mind. That's so nice for us to take away, because it's the mind that creates havoc in our hearts all the time. Krishna, when he's having a conversation with Arjuna, Arjuna is saying, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. He's saying the mind is more formidable than the wind. Arjuna says, I can control the winds, I can control the weather and everything, and I can control the enemy forces, but I cannot control my mind. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Thank you for bringing that up, Sumedh. This is 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 34th verse. So Govindadas Kaviraj, he's encouraging us to train this mind, to tame it, to control it by doing what? By worshipping Krishna or the son of Nanda. And then he goes on to say, Durlabha Manava. This human birth is so rare. We know that there are 8,400,000 different species, and we get the human life form after coming up the chain. And if we lose the opportunity, it'll be a big opportunity to lose. Durlabha Manava Janama. And how do we take care of this? It is not by our own endeavor. Satsangi. Satsangi means good association. How do you train your mind? You train your mind by associating with those who are doing it the right way. Again, linking back to the reference of Guru and how important the acharyas and the devotees are in our lives. So we urge you to stay connected for however long we are in this pandemic scenario. So Durlabha Manava, rare human birth, let's not spoil it. And let's associate, do satsangi. Taraho e bhava sindure. So if we do that, only then will we be able to come out of this ocean of repeated birth and death. So it's a formula that Govindadas is giving to us, and he is instructing and trying to train his mind to become a servant of Sri Krishna, who is referred to as Nanda Nanda. Govindadas is also very important. All the devotees who are initiated, and some get it from the family. Like I know a friend who's not initiated but has a last name Das. The mood is that we want to be the servant of whatever the first name is. So Madhava Kumar is Krishna, or Rajakumar Govinda is Krishna, or Sarvagya Krishna is referring to Krishna, but our title fully is the Das, or the servant of. So that's the mood the devotees should take and worship Nanda Nanda, or son of Nanda, who's Krishna. Sita Atapa Bata Barisana Edini Jamini Jagi Re. So Govinda Das is saying this mind is so silly, without forgetting the real purpose of life. He is just going on laboring day, night. And he's going through so much suffering, working hard like a donkey, and just achieving very, very little temporary flickering happiness. And for that, it's doing so much hard work. And throughout our lives, we end up serving such miserly men who don't really care about our well-being. So the reference again is to try and associate with devotees, take shelter of the spiritual master, and the spiritual master will guide us to Krishna, because he is, in true sense, our real well-wisher. Prabhupada's short version of his biography is titled Your Ever Well-Wisher. Prabhupada is really our well-wisher, or acharyas in that line, our well-wishers, not those miserly men who we serve day in, day out at work or different places, because there is a transactional relationship there. So Govinda Das is saying, oh mind, please don't waste your life doing that. Then Edana Yovana Putra Parijana Ite Kiache Paratitire. The mind is fooled in thinking that only if I was to please my child, only if I was to get some satisfaction in engaging with my wife or my husband, only if I was to get a car, only if I was to get a house, then I'll be happy. But these are going to give you only temporary happiness. That's what Govinda Das is trying to remind his mind, and he's saying, Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala. So you see a lotus flower, when it's in the water, there are drops of water on it. And those drops are tottering. Tottering means they can fall into the pond anytime. There is no balance. There's no real sense of security. Similarly, our lives, there is such a huge amount of uncertainty about the lives we're living. Any second it can be taken away from us. God forbid something happens, but we know how many people have lost their lives for one or the other reason. I recently, I'm proud about saying this, but I had to undergo a speed test because I sped, and they shared some statistics saying that every day on the roads of England, 5 people leave their houses and never come back because they lose their lives in road accidents. And talk about different parts of the world. In England, these are the statistics. So life is so tottering, and it can be taken away anytime. There is no time to lose, absolutely no time to lose. We must, whatever opportunity we have, surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. Take the vow to serve Nanda Nandana, or son of Nanda Maharaj. And so after giving all these reasons and arguments, Govinda Das is also saying how to do that. And how is Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dashare. So this is in the 7th canto, 5th chapter. Prahlad Maharaj is saying these nice prayers, and we can just bring it up. So these are the 9 processes of devotional service. You can pick any one. You can do any one of these. Shravana Kirtana, Vishnu Smarana, Pada Sevana, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyan, Sakyam, Atmanived. Any one of these 9 limbs you can pick up, 9 processes, and you can perfect your life. So Govinda Das is saying, it is, oh my mind, please let's do any one of these. So today what we're doing on this Zoom session is a lot of Shravana, a lot of Kirtana, some Sangha, Bhajan Kriya. So we just like to sincerely thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight. And these are perfected means of how to attain loving devotion to Krishna, clear instructions tried and tested methods by the acharyas. So let's not let our mind take control. Let us try and train our mind in serving the lotus feet of the Lord, and in doing so, become fearless ourselves, fulfill the purpose of our lives, don't waste the opportunity. And how do we do that? Is by simple processes: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And then you go on into the rest of it. But any one process, simply hearing the glories of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, simply chanting his name like we do 16 rounds a day, simply associating with devotees, engaging in bhajan kriya, simply remembering Lord Vishnu's name, talking about the Lord, will help us get devotion or bhakti. And that kind of yoga is the right kind of yoga to go for, not any gymnastics which will give us some physical ability, but what is it if it's only for the purpose of improving our sense gratification? That's not the purpose of life. So this prayer is wonderful, and I thought it really resonated with me because I need a lot of mind training, and Sumedh possibly caught me there saying, what am I going to do right after this Bhajan Sandhya? Am I going to turn on the TV or what? So that's the test for me to train my mind. I hope.
I think it's for everyone. It's not just for you. It's for everyone in general. That our mind is so, especially in this day and age. Maybe I don't know, Madhava Kumar Prabhu. I'm not saying you're very old, but when you were younger, there was not so many distractions, and especially now in an age full of consumerism, where people are putting adverts left, right, and center, so many gadgets, so much information. The mind is so restless these days, and so it's even more important for us to control our mind so that we can engage in the devotional service.
Yeah, and we take help. There is help available, a lot of help available. I was just speaking to someone. I would class her as a devotee. She said, what do? I don't know. I don't have support. I'm saying, we're here. Call out. Join the Zoom session every Friday, every Sunday, every Saturday, every Wednesday. So many options. Don't feel you are alone in this. Reach out and let's just help each other. So thank you once again. That brings us to nearly 9 o'clock, and what we want to do is just maybe have some time for a few announcements. But before that, Dhruv's just memorized Narsingha prayer. He would like to just recite for everyone, just 4 lines quickly, and then we can call upon Laura Natraj Prabhu or Radhamohan Prabhu or whoever is on for any announcements to close the session. And before we bring Dhruv on, one announcement is that every Saturday of the month in July, we are conducting sessions from the Vedas, practical self-help lessons. The sessions are titled Achievers Toolkit. We've done 2 and 3 more to go. So please feel free to register and join. And also in August, when it's end of year break for all the kids in school, there is an 18-session delivery of Ramayana being planned. Entire Ramayana in 18 sessions. It will be very, very wonderful to start your days, because it will be early in the morning, with stories and pastimes from Ramayana, and carry on with your day with those messages and inputs in your mind. So look out for that, and please join if you can. Dhruv, what to you?
Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalam Tam Sarvato Mukham Nashima Patrasham Patram Patram Mityor Mityam Namamyaham.
Hare Krishna. Not quite memorized yet, maybe by next month. But thank you for listening in. Over to you, Gaurana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhus. Thank you very much for this wonderful Bhajan Sandhya, especially continuing this service. Yes, so There are so many obstacles on the path of devotion. We're being tested time and again, but having that continuity is not easy. Something is maintained means that is in the mode of goodness. So thank you very much, Madhava, Kumar, Prabhu, and Pandava Sena team for doing this wonderful Bhajan Sandhya. I've just got one quick announcement from the ISKCON Manchester management side. We have good news. We have announced last Sunday also that we are going to partially reopen the temple from Sunday, 25th July. That's a week on Sunday, a week on this Sunday. Partially reopening, not fully. So as the cases are still increasing, so we want to take some baby steps towards it. A number of devotees felt happy about this decision. There are a couple of changes to our program. Usually the Sunday class happens on Zoom at 1 o'clock, but beginning from 25th Sunday, 25th July onwards, we will move that to 11:30 in the morning. Yes, 11:30 to 12:30. Zoom class. The class will be online. Everybody can attend the program from their own home. And then from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, there will be Harti ceremony. That will be broadcasted from the temple. So what we're going to do after Aarti, we will give half an hour time, devotees to come to temple. So from 1:30 onwards, we will open the temple for darshan. And we request all the devotees to come and attend. And, each time one family is sent in, and they have to wear the mask as well. And we will plan to take the recording, temperature recordings, etc. Please, bring your own mask for that. After darshan, everybody will be given a packet of prasadam. So they come out, they eat outside. Currently, there is no eating allowed in the temple at the moment, but this will be reviewed, later. But at least we can see each other outside and maybe, have little chat and, discussion. It's always nice to see devotees face to face. So this is the plan, partial reopening, and I hope it goes well. I am really looking forward to seeing you all on 25th. I've not seen many of you face to face for a while now. It is because of these Zoom sessions and pandemic, but I would love to see you all, most of you, on 25th Sunday, face to face. That's it from my side. Once again, thank you all, and Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.